Today is Remembrance Day, and I just want to mark that occasion by sharing with you a video I filmed a month or two back during a visit to Hellfire Pass in Kanchanaburi, Thailand. It's a very poignant visit to the Death Railway. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
And here we are at Hellfire Pass. We're going to walk in pretty soon. It's funny, here in 2022 you say, look, welcome to paradise. If we skip back 80 years, this very much would have been welcome to hell. God bless all you brave men that lost your lives here, or survived, like this gentleman here, Harold Martin. Respect to that generation of people. The amount of rock that each prisoner of war was expected to move in one day in this dreadful heat and humidity. Just one day, look. And this is how a lot of the men really looked. Lest we forget, when the railway was finished, some prisoners of war remained in Thailand and Burma. Many were returned to Changi in Singapore, and others were sent to Indochina. Over the following months, many were transported to Japan or parts of the Japanese Empire to work further as labourers. This really was hell on earth. Lest we forget. Wow, that looks like my granddad right there. And everybody here so far speaks absolutely perfect English. This has been funded by the Australian government. There are two walking trails here. One takes about 50 minutes in and out, and the other one takes about 3 hours. We're going to be doing a lot over the next day or two, so we'll do the shorter walk today. But this is an area where, to facilitate the Death Railway into Burma, prisoners of war needed to hack their way through jungle and everything else, dodging tigers and bears and everything, and build a series of cuttings and bridges. But these are some of the brave men who came back. I have nothing but respect for these men. I get quite emotional when I think about it. I think about my grandfather and stuff like that. But yeah, it's important we respect these things. Yeah, this is part of the cutting right here. It isn't the famous bit of actual Hellfire Pass that I'm going to show you, but these men were literally worked to the bone. You've seen the photos, they were worked to the bone. If you want to see the original movie, it's called Bridge on the River Kwai. There's a later movie called Railwayman, which is quite a poignant look at actually both sides of the of what went on. You've got to look at the emotions of the Japanese soldiers there as well, look. But yeah, that's pretty much how they ended up looking, pretty emancipated in general. Wow. First they cleared this landscape, and then by the prospect of having to build a railway with no modern construction equipment at all. And this section here, the Konyu section, was started by about 1,500 British workers and 2,000 Tamil workers from India from November 1942 on. Some 400 Australians from T Battalion of D-Force began work in the region in about 1943. But the funny thing is, the Japanese brought in a further 600 prisoners, including British and Australians of H-Force. and around 1,000 Asian labourers as well. Also worked in this vicinity of Konyu Cutting, so actually well done to the Australian government, because if you look at the numbers, there were more Brits here than anybody else. But this is the Australian government that has set this up, and what a fantastic job they've done. Very poignant place for Australian nationals as well. And fair play to the Australian government. Everything from the quality of the map you get here, the fact that it's free to get in, the way it's set up and the staff that they employ, that's a big thumbs up, really. It's absolutely fantastic the way this is been set up. I was about to say, imagine having a break in work and looking out over that beautiful view, but honestly, you didn't have time for any kind of beautiful view. You worked from the moment you were awake until the moment you dropped to sleep, pretty much. And if you couldn't work anymore, often you're pretty much left to die or beaten to death. So, and that's without worrying about the big cats, you know, the tigers and the bears and everything else that were here. So it's called Hellfire Pass. I mean, hell on earth. It's the Aussie health and safety warning, because I don't think you'd be getting that usually. Jesus, I'm getting chills here. This is Hellfire Pass, also known as Konyu Cutting. The name comes from the appalling working conditions at and around the site. It started from mid-1943. The work site was lit by oil lamps and bamboo fires. The flickering light, the noise from the drilling of the rock and the shuffling of hundreds of poorly fed prisoners seemed like the very, very image of hell. I've got chills all the way through my body. Yeah, God bless every single one of you. God bless you, Herbert, Edward Shields. God bless you, mate. God bless you, mate. Feel all emotional. Actually trying to hold back the tears in front of me, son of me, mate. Got a bit of an indescribable feeling coursing through my very body right now. Yeah, this little cutting right here, Konyu Cutting, Hellfire Pass. Wow, holding back tears here, mate. Yeah, this place, Konyu Cutting or Hellfire Pass, one of the most horrific places. Yep. God bless all the Dutch as well. God bless the British. God bless the Tamils, the Indians. God bless the Aussies. God bless the Kiwis if they were here. God bless the Thais. God bless the Burmese. Wow. That's an extraordinary feeling. Yeah, people that know me, I'm not much of a blubberer. I do get a bit emotional, got a bit of a temper and stuff, but honestly, holding back the tears there are just astounding. Wow. Imagine that, some of my granddad's muckers being worked to death pretty much. And as the setting sun goes down, we shall remember, lest we forget. Wow. Oh, Sir Edward Weary Dunlop and his medical colleagues in the armed services of Great Britain, Australia, Netherlands, India and the United States of America gave devoted service to thousands of sick and dying prisoners of war and Asian labourers, and were forced to construct and maintain the Burma Thailand Railway. These doctors provided leadership, helped alleviate pain and suffering, above all else gave reason to the men to live when all real hope seemed lost. To them we all give thanks. When you go home, tell them of us and say we gave our tomorrow for your today. On behalf of the Royal Thai Armed Forces, lest we forget. Atta boys. Atta boys. There we go, look. America, Britain, Thailand, Holland, Australia. I'm just sitting here taking it all in and trying to imagine what it was like. It's pretty emotional, actually.
The first ever Remembrance Day was held exactly a year after the end of the First World War. It was a tradition inaugurated by King George V, and it was observed at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1919. And here is how it was reported in The Guardian of London. The first stroke of 11 produced a magical effect. The tramcars glided into stillness, motors ceased to cough and fume and stopped dead, and the mighty limbed grey horses hunched back upon their loads and stopped also, seeming to do it of their own volition. Someone took off his hat, and with a nervous hesitancy the rest of the men bowed their heads also. Here and there an old soldier could be detected slipping unconsciously into the posture of attention. An elderly woman not far away wiped her eyes, and the man beside her looked white and stern. Everyone stood very still. The hush deepened. It had spread over the whole city and become so pronounced as to impress one with the sense of audibility. It was a silence which was almost pain, and the spirit of memory brooded over it all.
Reminds me of Crash Bandicoot years ago. Look at that. There it is, looking down. There would have been Japanese guards here looking down and berating the men, I'm sure. We've all got moments in our history where we should hang our heads in shame, but if you're Japanese and watching this, hang your head in shame. Simple as that. I'm British. We've got plenty of times to hang our head in shame. This is your moment. Oh wow, look at this, son. Wow, so that would have been loaded up with your load and taken off, mate. And if you couldn't manage it, you would have just probably been beaten, wouldn't you? What can you do? Wow. Back foot. Look. Check. Goes along, watch. Excuse me. I don't. No, they've got bricks on either side. Yeah. I thought maybe they could move it, they can't.
Yeah.
Wow. The other side, son, yeah? Look up the other side, yeah? Well, I think we found an alternative route back. We've got this viewpoint here, but look, the steps go right the way up and over the mountain, so might as well crack on up there. Oh, wow. Look at this. Oh my word. There it is, folks. Hellfire Pass. That's how deep down they cut, look. Right the way through this mountain, look at that. Been about 3 months since I did this, look. And my training has consisted of pies and sausage rolls pretty much, so. Anyway, must crack on. I'm the god of hellfire. Oh, here we are again. If you did enjoy that short video, then I'll see you next time, yeah?